The death of the scam artist. Sure, it's not the first time it's been announced, but New York Times proudly announced that all these things are over. You know, Elizabeth Holmes has been convicted. You can't just fake it till you make it anymore. And I say, psh, really? This has been predicted time and time again. I mean, first of all, do you think people are going to get more honest? Because I don't know that that's the way human society is progressing. But the second and more important thing is trust. Trust is the foundation of our economy. Someone explained to me, if you think about exchange, somebody has to give something to the other person first, right? So a restaurant, they give us food first and then we pay later. Trust, right? Some places, the store, we give them money first and then we get the item later. It doesn't happen simultaneously. Somebody has to take that risk first. It's not like, you know, rock, paper, scissors where you guys both show your hands at the same time, right? But the thing is, if you think about scam artists, fake it till you make it, all those people, it really is quite complicated because who defines what a scam is? What's real, what's not real? I mean, don't get me wrong, I hate Elizabeth Holmes just as much as anybody else. I think she's completely false. She lied, she made up stuff. She's totally wrong, should be basically, you know, I don't know, put in prison for the rest of her life, or I don't even know why that's like not as bad as the death penalty. Depends, I guess, what kind of prison you are, like Supermax is like worse. Anyways, the thing is, what's the big deal, right? I think the big deal is that some people have a product that's only a product in the imagination, right? Some things aren't so tangible, right? A lab test, that's sort of science, black and white, pretty easy to tell whether you're right or wrong, right? I mean, some things may be more erroneous than others, but, you know, if it works, right? But hers did not work. I think a lot of other things are more complicated. Why is it some people could sell a, you know, piece of fabric for $10,000 and some people, you know, sell for $1? Clothing, right? You could get, you know, t-shirts, 5 for 10 or whatever it is, right? Or you could buy, you know, a t-shirt with some fancy name brand, blah, 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 for $10,000. What makes it worth that, right? I mean, celebrity items. What makes this person's, like, handkerchief, right? Some famous person's handkerchief worth $500,000. The fact that Justin Bieber sneezed on it. I mean, I'm sure people would pay that much, right? Is that tangible, logical? How do you evaluate that? Art, how do you value, like, you know, every hour spent is worth so much depending on how long you lived, how famous. I mean, I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. All these things are not able to be valued. You can't really say there's a scam in a sense, right? People selling NFTs. They were hot and they're worth something and now the market's dropped, but so it's the same for stocks. Gold, silver, are those more or less real? I mean, gold, silver could touch. Stocks, more nebulous. NFTs, even more nebulous, right? Crypto, is it worth something? Is it not? Is it a scam? When something's more accepted, does it become not a scam? I mean, there's lots of falsehoods that people believe, but they're still falsehoods, right? Like, people believe the earth was flat a long time ago. Does it mean that it was true back then? Back then you could, you know, literally fall off the end of the world because the earth was flat. No, nobody would say that. It's just false. People believed it. And that's the thing with belief and truth and reality. They're sort of separate things. And that's why I think this idea of fake it till you make it, right? You know, when you start a business, people want to do business with somebody who has good business skills, who has a business already. So if you fake it and say you are able to do all these things when you couldn't, but then you end up being able to do all these things, is that lying or not lying, right? For example, if I tell you, hey, you know, I know how to drive a motorcycle, Never done it before in my life. And then I go and drive it, and I actually could do it pretty well. Was I lying? Because it's actually correct, right? Is lying in the eye of the beholder, in the eye of the person saying it? If you say something that you think is wrong, does that mean you're lying? Like if I say, oh, I think it's raining outside. And it's not raining outside, so I'm lying, right? But what if I say, I think it's raining outside, but I don't think it's raining, but I'm trying to trick you to not going outside. And it's actually raining outside. Then am I still lying? That's the whole thing about fake it till you make it. I don't even know what it means anymore. Right? But if you're talking about scam artists, and people are tricking other people, and thinking they'll disappear, that people won't invest in them, seriously? You think everybody's going to become more honest in our society?